So let's talk real quick again about the big lie of the electric vehicle. So I have a few questions about the electric vehicle mandates that are starting to roll down and forcing people into these cars. So just wanted to look at a couple of basic facts. If you look at fueling stations in the US right now, there's roughly 150,000 of them. If you look at electric vehicle charging stations, less than 55,000 nationwide. Now, I know the infrastructure bill is supposed to build a ton of those. I'm not sure I'd buy that as of yet. Then let's move to the price of the cars. So the most inexpensive electric vehicle at this point runs just above $28,000. You could get a combustion engine vehicle for under $15,000. Then the irony of that is the cheaper your electronic vehicle is, or your electric vehicle, the less range that you have. So the cheaper cars drive the least distance. Whereas a combustion engine, the inexpensive cars are actually some of the most, or actually most of the most fuel efficient cars, averaging over 30 miles a gallon. So you have people that can afford inexpensive cars and drive decent distances while being eco-friendly, or people in expensive electric vehicles that can't drive very far, have to use more electricity, and are not as eco-friendly as everybody wants them to believe. And then you move to Washington State, California, Oregon, Governor Inslee, Governor Newsom. I don't know who's in Oregon. I really could care less what her name is. But so they're mandating by 2035 no selling of combustion engines anymore. So my question to them is, who is responsible for electric vehicle charging stations? So we know that public ones are built, but if you don't own a home and you have no place to put a charging station, how is an electric vehicle a viable option for you? Where does a renter put a fast charger? Is the landlord responsible for making charging available in private rentals or apartment buildings where you have one station and 100 units in the building? These are questions that we should really have the answers to before politicians decide to force people into vehicles that are not eco-friendly, are not financially friendly, and quite frankly, from my experience so far, very unreliable. So that's just my 2 cents. I have a lot of questions on electric vehicles. If you think they're worth your time, then by all means get one. But again, the idea that the government's going to force us to move to something just because they say it's better seems like insanity to me. But that's just my 2 cents from the common sense side. You guys have a good night.